And join alongside our analyst, Frankie Corrado. So it was Team CHL taking this opening game of this inaugural CHL-USA Prospects Challenge. The Stars were definitely out for both sides, but yes, the CHL flexing its muscle on this Tuesday night in London. Matthew Schaefer. He won gold at the U18s in the spring, won gold at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup this past summer as a 16-year-old. He is the best defenseman in this draft class, showing us lots of examples why in this game he did a little bit of everything on this night.
He really did. He's a gamer. That's a great way to describe him, and there's no doubt he's going to be the first defenseman drafted this upcoming draft. Can he make a push for first overall? Well, if you see what you saw at him tonight, there's going to be a very realistic chance. I love this sequence where he loses his stick, loses his glove, no problem, going to block a shot. That takes a lot of courage to do. And then he gets on the board with a really nice goal, head-to-head rush, really nice deception here. And it's the elite skating, it's the puck ability, the command that he has to his game that you really see shine through with Matthew Schaefer. No doubt he's the best defenseman. There's a very good chance he makes a push. Depends what team is going to be picking first overall. He could make a push for first overall.
And amazing to think if he was born 10 days later, so he turned 17 on September 5th, if he was born 10 days later, he would be eligible for the 2026 draft instead. But yes, potentially he could be going first overall in June's draft in 2025. When it came to the start of this game, we were kind of curious to see what we'd get from both of these teams, right? Because you've got the U.S. National Team Development Program. They've been together for the last year and a half. They've got that chemistry. Then you've got the CHL team kind of blended together, an all-star team, if you will. Were we going to see some nerves? Was it going to be slow? Was it going to be fast? Did it kind of go as you were expecting?
Well, especially at the start of the game, you saw a lot of physicality, a lot of intensity early on in this game, and everyone wants to get noticed. These are all draft-eligible players with a ton of NHL scouts and executives in the building. What is the quickest, most efficient way to get noticed early in a game? Be physical, and the CHL side did a great job of that. You can count 5 or 6 hits in the first 2 minutes of this game where you can say, okay, these guys are ready to go, they're engaged. Ultimately, that's how the first period ended, with a little extracurriculars, and then that physical start parlayed into a quick start on the score sheet for the CHL team. It was Lakovic who ended up getting a goal and an assist. We saw him last year at the Memorial Cup playing for Moose Jaw, a player who brings a different type of skill package, a bigger body, power forward. But the physical start led to the goal for the CHL team, and they never looked back from there.
And now we look ahead to Game 2. They'll go along the 401 from London to Oshawa, Ontario. So Canada winning, CHL winning that first game. If the U.S. is able to win on Wednesday, that would set up a unique overtime. They'll go 3-on-3 until a winner is decided in this Prospects Challenge.
Well, ahead of Game 1 of the CHL-USA Prospects Challenge, there was some question, Craig, as to how would the Canadian Hockey League team gel together despite having not played together like the USNTDP has throughout the year. One thing there was not a question of was the talent, and we certainly saw that on display for the CHL tonight.
Yeah, we did. And, you know, when you have the number of A players rated by NHL Central Scouting on Team CHL, it's no surprise that skill carried a lot of the play. And we're talking about players that are going to be drafted in the top 5, top 10, 15. I heard somebody say that maybe, you know, we're going to see 15, 16 first-round draft picks from this game. I think it'll be more than that. I think it'll be 20 and maybe more than 20. And it does speak to the talent, it does speak to the skill level. And certainly, you know, there's some players that aren't here for Team USA that are going to be top picks. And Canada, CHL is missing a couple as well. But, you know, certainly right from the outset, the speed that they play with. And keep in mind, and, you know, you heard this from some of the players, they have played together at international competition. The coaches have worked with the players, so they have a feel for what the players can do. So the advantage that Team USA has with playing throughout the course of the year isn't as significant as we may think.
Well, Matthew Schaefer has a great chance to be the first defenseman taken in this summer's NHL entry draft. He had a great game tonight, and he's standing by with Reagan Subban.
Matthew, a dominant performance from you tonight. What is it about this level that brings out the best in you?
Yeah, I just want to say I think the CHL is the best league out there, right? We kind of proved it there, but we still got another big game tomorrow. So yeah, it was a great game, but let's focus on tomorrow and, you know, hopefully get another win.
Chemistry was a question with your team in comparison to the States, but it didn't look like one tonight. What was clicking so well with your team?
Honestly, a lot of us have played together with either U18s or Holinka, and we've all kind of played against each other with. So honestly, I think right as the boys came, we kind of clicked right away at the hotel, just, with everything. So yeah, we came out there and we played hard and we got the dub.
Ravensbergen was solid in net. What can you say about his performance tonight?
Yeah, it's always super easy when you have a great goaltender back there. He made some big stops for us tonight, and yeah, he was huge. So, shout out to him.
Congrats on the win. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So we saw the skill on display from the CHL. Craig, on the USNTDP side, we saw a very spirited start to this game. Obviously, there's something on the line here for both these teams.
Well, there's no question. The teams and the individual players, I mean, they're competitors. Now, first and foremost, and, one of the things I feel is just go out and compete and play and do the things that you do well. And I think the competitive level, the friction that ensued over different parts of the game, the physical play was there, and it was there from both sides. And nobody backed off. Everybody was involved. We saw some scrums after the whistle, but that's what happens when you get into a game that's high intensity and when you have really strong competitive play from the individual players in it. And there's no question, Victor, that we're going to get a lot of the same in Oshawa on Wednesday night. No question.
So Matthew Schaefer went out and said it. He feels like the Canadian Hockey League proved tonight that they're the best development hockey league in the world, but the USNTDP still has a chance to fire back as the series shifts to Oshawa on Wednesday. We will play Game 2 of the 2024 CHL-USA Top Prospects Challenge. Coverage gets underway at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, of course, all right here on TSN.